Hello, artist. For our carpet activity today, you will be completing a self-assessment. This is a worksheet where you will be thinking about your behaviors here in the art lab and then circling whether something is an area of strength or an area of growth. You will need a worksheet, a pencil, and a clipboard. These are located under the smartboard. Please pay attention to the substitute teacher's directions on how to get these materials. Once you have all three things, go ahead and write your name and class code at the top of the worksheet. Your class code is 1-T. That is 1 for first grade and T for Thor. That's your teacher. Next, the substitute will read each of these 5 statements. You will need to decide whether you are going to circle the statement as an area of strength or an area of growth. So this picture is a weightlifter to indicate being strong at something, or another way to say that would be this is a skill that you feel you're really good at. You will circle the plant if you feel like this is an area of growth for you. If this is a skill where you need practice or reminders, or sometimes you forget, or you know that it's a struggle for you, you'll circle area of growth. No artist is perfect. Most students are a mixture of both. Please give your listening ears to our substitute teacher now, who will read off these statements, and you will circle area of strength or area of growth before you move on to studios. Today in the art lab, you can choose to use the drawing studio or the painting studio. Unfortunately, collage and the construction studio are both closed today due to some struggles with cleanup that we will take care of in a future class. If you choose the painting or the drawing studio today, you will notice that there are some extra materials at the table. One option for you today is to create artwork inspired by the fall season. So here at the table, there are some pumpkins that you can observe and then try to paint. To be clear, you will be painting a picture of the pumpkin on paper. You are not putting paint on the pumpkins. These 3 pumpkins will be here for all classes here at Creekside, so they need to be left in good condition. Please be responsible and take care of these pumpkins. Over here in the drawing studio, there are some more fall-themed things, such as pumpkins, that you could then choose to observe closely and try to draw on a piece of paper. And there are also some leaves, some leaf plates, and then some crayons for you to do texture rubbings. To do a texture rubbing, you will need a piece of paper, a leaf or a texture plate, some crayons in the color of your choice, and a pencil, because your first step is always to begin with your name and class code. Once you've written those 2 things down, go ahead and flip over your paper. A texture rubbing works by placing the texture plate or the actual leaf underneath your paper. So I'll start with the real leaf first. I'll position either the whole leaf under my paper or just a portion of the leaf like this. To get a good texture rubbing, it's really important that I firmly hold the paper with one of my hands so that things do not wiggle. Then I'm going to hold the crayon sideways. Make sure it's a crayon that does not have a wrapper. You will then rub the crayon over the surface of the leaf until you see the texture or how the leaf feels show up on the paper. This one works the same way. I place it underneath the paper. Make sure that I'm holding firmly with one hand so that the paper and the texture plate do not wiggle. And then rub the crayon while it's sideways. And then I can continue to move around this paper, adding in other leaves, colors, or other details that I might choose to draw on top of my artwork. And there you have it, a beautiful artwork with leaf rubbings.